Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Derick and this is Derick Plays, and what I'm going to be doing is a lot of card games and board games. Hopefully it's not just going to be me playing them. I'm going to get friends, family, whoever really wants to come on and just play some games, and we're just going to have some fun, record it, and put some videos on YouTube. Tonight, what I'm going to be playing is a very fun game. It has a single player attribute to it, and it is called Chrononauts. What this game is you're basically a time traveler trying to help characters get back home through adjusting a big timeline, and you're going to see all that in the video, so hope you enjoy it, and thank you for watching. Okay, so this is your timeline when you play Chrononauts. Each card has an identifier on it. You have the year, the ripples it affects, and whether it's a linchpin or the actual ripple point. And everything is identified by that little A1 in the bottom left corner, so that's how you know everything is in order. When you're playing Solonauts, you have inverters, and then you have patches. When you flip a linchpin, so if we flip, it tells us what dates are affected, 1986 and 1989. That's what the red symbols mean on the card. And so in this instance, if John Lennon was nearly killed, it would affect this card right here, and it would become a paradox. Paradoxes are bad. You do not want paradoxes. If you get 13 in one setting, you lose. So that's why they make the patches, is for you to go back and repair time. And through the correct patches, you're going to get the characters home. I'll show you the characters in just a second. Try to get my camera to refocus here. There we go. So this is a patch. It has the red number at the top that tells you it's a patch, and it's nullified if this event, this linchpin, goes back to black and red. Red means it was changed. Black means it's back to the normal timeline. Now, when you're playing with other people, there are also gadgets and artifacts and actions and other sort of time cards that time riffs, I think, are what they're called, but they help you go through the deck and they have you do certain things. So this is a character card. Now, when you notice on the character cards, there are 3 dates on them. On the character cards, one is always going to be a part of the normal timeline, and the other 2, the other red ones, are things we're going to have to change in order to get this guy home. Typically, you do 8 characters whenever you play solo. Right now, I think just to keep the video short and keep you all entertained, I'm only going to do 3. So I'm going to shuffle up the ID cards. Now I'm going to deal out, and like I said, just to keep it short and keep it simple, I'm going to deal out 3. 1, put them over here. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to put the other IDs off to the side, other cards off to the side here. Now I'm going to deal myself 5 of these cards. These are going to be our inverters and our patches. And we're going to try to get these 3 time travelers home. So, just going to shuffle these up. And try not to cheat. Deal myself 5. And let's see what we've got in our hand here. Okay, so we've got 3 inverters, but this is a special inverter because you can only do red to black. The other 2, these reverse fates, allow you to do whatever you want. We've got a patch for 1945C. And we have a halt attack inverter, and it's only good for these. These right here for the expansion. I think there's an 1800s colonial one. So you can also, it's like an expansion set. So, well, let's take a look and see. We've got Gunther, Janone, and Mr. X. So what we want to do is manipulate the timeline to get these guys home. So first thing, we can discard one card if we know we're not going to need it. So we're going to start with this one since none of our characters need 1945 to see the world peace. So we can get rid of that, and we get to, I'm going to put my draw pile right here and draw another card. So we have 1950, and that's the Zeppelin factory open. So on our card here, we want to go ahead and just drop the card. On our card here, Mr. X, he has 1950s, this Zeppelin factory opened in Seoul. So we want to change that event so we can get that patch out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a reverse fate. I'll put that off to the side since I no longer can use it. And we're going to change the fate of the Hindenburg. So since we changed that, it affects 1950. So we're going to flip that, which created a paradox, but we can patch that paradox by playing the Zeppelin factory opened in Seoul. Pretty cool. So we have done that, and we have satisfied, so far, the 1950 for Mr. X. You always have to have 5 cards in your hand. This is my 3, and 4, and 5. Let's see here. So we have another one. Another Allied troops invade Tokyo. 1945 is not on any of our guys, so we can discard that and draw another card. So now we really are in trouble here because we have no patches and really nothing to affect the timeline to help us out in any of our characters. I don't think. So this guy needs 1944 to be D-Day. Well, we can change that, but it's going to change a lot. In order to get that patch, we're going to need to reverse the fate on Mr. Hitler here. So we're going to change it to him getting assassinated, which affects 1939, 1942. It doesn't affect 1944 because there's 2 conditions to be paradoxed, and only one of them has been met. This card right here, this 1945, is a triple paradox. So there's 3 conditions that can make it change, and we just did one of them. Hitler being assassinated. Israel has no longer been founded. And I believe that's it. The last one, 1948. Yeah. That is all we can do right now, so we're going to draw another card to get to 5 in our head. We got the Titanic Explodes card, which we're going to dump that because we can't use it. Draw another one. 1942 Nuremberg laws repealed. Race laws repealed. New government restores full citizenship to German Jews. We can place it. It's not going to help us. It's not going to hurt us either, so we can just patch that just so there's one less paradox out there because we don't like paradoxes. Paradoxes are bad. Draw our next card. Cosmonauts land on the moon. We don't really need it. And this is kind of like solitaire, so if you don't need something, you just dump it away. And we don't need that one. Moving on, another reverse fate card. So we can kind of prepare for some other stuff we're going to need. Like we know 1918 needs to change, so does 1917. So we're going to go ahead and keep the Lusitania from sinking, which would affect 1917, and it doesn't affect 1933 yet because the Titanic is still there. We can also, we got 1917. We need to do 1918, so we're going to prevent use our prevent assassination card and play that on Archduke Ferdinand, which will affect 1914. 1918, which is great. We're slowly making our progress. We get to draw 2 cards. We don't need 1991 or 1948 for any of our characters, so we can draw 2 more. And look, we get some more cards we don't really need. 1944, the Warsaw Games. We can't halt that attack. So we will do that to keep the Pearl Harbor from being bombed, which now D-Day never happened. So we're getting a lot of paradoxes without patches, which is not really the best way to do it, but it's the only way we think we can do now. We got Tokyo nuked. Don't need that. Abraham Lincoln impeached, which we have on our card here, 1868, so we don't want to patch that. Sabotage. Listen, all y'all, it's a sabotage, which doesn't really help us at all. So we are going to get rid of that one. Draw another one. The mild recession. That's not going to help us at all. Don't really need to divert any disasters. Another reverse fate. Let's go ahead and get rid of this avert disaster. Prevent assassination. I don't think we need to prevent any assassinations. Another reverse fate. So I'm going to get rid of one of these reverse fates. And if you go through the deck before you get through saving your heroes or bringing them home, then you lose. This does not affect our characters at all. 1968, the Vietnam. Nope. Let's get rid of a reverse fate. World War III. Now, this is an interesting card. I'll go ahead and describe it to you. This is what's called the Uber paradox. And if this is played out on the field, the future doesn't exist after 1962, so you can't use any cards while it's out. Another reverse fate. What sucks is dumping all these means I may not be able to change. 1939. That doesn't help us. Guns banned in 1999. We do need this one, so we can do a reverse fate and switch over Mr. Lennon here, which will affect Columbine. Never happened, and guns have been banned. The Second Amendment has been repealed in this alternate timeline. So now we've sanitized that. We need to get Warsaw hosts the Olympic Games, and we'll be able to send one of our players home. The Nazis win. That won't affect us. Another reverse fate. We'll go ahead and get rid of it. I promise this is how you play. I'm not trying to. Don't need to prevent assassination. Was President Wilson keeps us out of war. That's a patch. We can put that on 1917, which is good for him. Oh, we got 1944. So this guy has returned home. Andrew Johnson's been impeached. Warsaw hosted the Olympics game, and guns have been banned. So we'll put them over here. That's all going to be our people who have been sent home. European economy booms. Now, we need to... 1950 has been patched, so we need to satisfy this guy before we satisfy this guy, otherwise we won't be able to win. David Koresh's ministry opens new hospital, so for that one, we can just reverse the fate of this compound, and which will affect that one. All right, so we got Koresh's military, MLK and RFK both murdered, and the Zeppelin factory opened in Seoul. That guy has been saved. And we got our last card we can draw here, marijuana legalized. So now all we have to do is we can do a restore history, bring this back to its normal function. And since we did that, we can remove this patch because it never happened. This is restored, and we have got all of our heroes sent back, or all of our characters sent back home. So that is pretty much it. It's kind of a quick video, and hopefully on the next one I'll have some friends and we're going to play Flux or something like that. Thank you for watching. Please, if you know any games you'd like to try to see me play or me and my friends, drop it in the comments, like and subscribe, favorite and share it to your friends, and we hope to see you back again. Thank you for watching.